Alright, once again we are back with another review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cross Naruto, the 4-part miniseries where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Naruto are crossing over. And I feel like that's my only complaint I would have with this series, is that it's too short. Like 4 issues I feel like isn't enough for this series. It should have been 5 or should have been 6, because this issue I feel like it crams a lot into it to get to the conclusion that we'll be getting with the finale of this series within the next couple of months. So I feel like they crammed too much into this one issue, but what we got in this one issue was really freaking fantastic. Like the artwork done by Henry in this issue and the coloring done by Rao and Gulo is freaking amazing. Like the art style in this comic is really freaking great, and you can see that a lot within this issue where it pays tribute to both series as the characters come together and they finally start teaming up. But hopefully later down the line, if this series does well enough and there's enough fan demand for it, or if IDW and Viz want to do another crossover, or Shueisha want to do another crossover, I would love to see another crossover between Naruto and Ninja Turtles once again. Maybe we can get like the Shippuden era Naruto crossing over with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I have no idea. That'd be really cool to see. I mean, that would make sense. You'd have a time skip, enough time has passed, and then we'd have a bunch of different characters crossing over with Naruto and TMNT once again. But let's jump into this issue. So the last issue ended on a cliffhanger where the Shredder and the Foot Clan had invaded the lair of the Turtles and Splinter, and they had kidnapped April and Splinter, while the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Team 7 were out getting pizza. And here is when we get to see the Big Apple Village for the very first time, and it's basically New York in the Naruto universe in a way. I mean, you've got the Statue of Liberty with a headband on, and you've also got the sights of Naruto. It's basically like suburbia in current Naruto, which is something you kind of see later down the line in Boruto, where technology has kind of caught up a little bit, but things still look the same. But yeah, this just looks like modern day city, but in Naruto universe. So it is what it is. But I kind of wish we got to see more of seeing New York City in the Naruto universe, or the Big Apple Village in this universe, because we only see a little bit of it, but what we see visually is great. So while the Turtles and Team 7 are out exploring the Big Apple Village, they stumble across the Foot Clan, or a bunch of Foot Clan thugs trying to mug these group of people, and the Turtles jump in right away and they help them out. And because the Turtles helped out these people, they're rewarded with the pizza for free. And Sasuke asks Raphael by saying, do they just give you free food for fighting all this crime? And Raph responds by saying, look, in fairness, usually we have it delivered for a storm drain, which is kind of funny because, you know, call back to the original Turtles movie from what they did at the start of that film. Classic scene. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But that's the one thing that the Turtles would do. They would get the pizza delivered for a storm drain. So I love that callback. So they return back to their lair and they find that it's ransacked, and right away they know what they need to do. They need to take the fight to Shredder and the Foot Clan themselves as they're done hiding, because they know that they can't hide forever, so they've got to take the fight to them. So after that, we do have Shredder, who's got April and Splinter restrained, and we see what his master plan is. The Shredder basically wants to use the mutagen to create a ninja mutant army and require true strength. So basic villainy stuff going on here, nothing too deep, nothing too crazy going on. He just wants to use the mutagen to create his own mutant army. And while this is all going down, you get to see him mutating a bunch of the Foot Clan soldiers who are going to be the main fights we'll see in this issue. Now, like I mentioned earlier, the pacing for this series goes by really freaking quickly, so within like the next couple of pages, you already have Team 7 and the Turtles busting through the Shredder's lair, ready to kick ass and take names. And these fight scenes we have leading up to like the big cliffhanger for this issue are really freaking amazing. Like the artwork for these fight scenes are freaking fantastic. I mean, this is what I love seeing in a crossover, seeing all these callbacks and homages and all their different powers working together as they come together in these fight scenes. So it's really freaking amazing. Like Henry did a really amazing job with the artwork in this series. So the first fight scene we have is Sakura and Raphael teaming up, and because they're fighting one of these giant monsters who move really fast. And what Sakura and Raphael end up doing is calling back to when the first issue or the series began, where Raphael took note of Sakura's strength, is that Sakura just picks up Raphael and just hurls him right at the enemy, and they call the combo attack Cherry Blossom Shell Smash. And as Raphael gets hurled towards the enemy, he goes inside his shell and starts spinning around, and it's really freaking amazing. Like I said, the artwork for this series, for these panels we get when these two teams are fighting together, is really freaking amazing. So then the next team up we get is Leonardo and Kakashi fighting against one of the mutants, and this one is really freaking amazing. Like, this is like one of the highlights for me within this issue, because you have Leonardo and Kakashi teaming up, Leonardo using his swords, Kakashi using his lightning ninjutsu abilities, and what we get is we get Kakashi and Leonardo using their abilities together, and we get to see Kakashi using his lightning blade or lightning cutter, whatever you want to call it, into Leonardo's sword, and we get a lightning katana. We get a literal lightning blade within this team up, and it is freaking amazing. Like I said, the artwork is freaking amazing. I have no idea which one of these like combo moves I'm going to use as a thumbnail. Probably the Naruto one, no doubt about it. But this is really freaking amazing. Like I said, the artwork is freaking amazing, and the callbacks and the references you get within this series, really freaking amazing. I kind of wish we got to see more of it. And then we have Donatello and Sasuke teaming up together, which makes sense because Donnie's the brains and Sasuke, he's always been more of a strategic fighter when it comes to Naruto, especially in part 1. Sasuke was a very, very strategic fighter when it came to combat. So seeing that they're fighting this enemy that's got a bunch of claws around them and they're trying to find a way to land a hit on him, Sasuke ends up activating his Sharingan and he's able to pinpoint the enemy's weakness. So what we get is we get to see the Lion Combo, I believe it is, or it's sort of in the same vein as the Lion Combo or the Lion's Barrage, whatever it was translated as. But we get to see that. I think it was called Shishi Rendan. I'm probably butchering that translation. It's been a while since I've seen Naruto Part 1, but I remember some of the names. But we get to see the Lion Barrage and Donatello against this enemy, and what we get is the Sharingan staff as they kick the enemy in the back of the head, hitting their weakness. So it's really freaking amazing. Like I said, once again, another solid team up. And then the last team up is the highlight, is the two bros of the team, Mikey and Naruto. So Naruto and Mikey are fighting this opponent with these wings on them, and Naruto's trying to get a good hit on him, but he notices that he's like dough when you land a hit on him. And Mikey makes a comment by saying, look, when chefs who make pizza deal with dough, what they do is they spin and pound it around to get it into shape. And that's what they end up doing. They end up circling this enemy who's flying around them, and they just end up pounding him in the end. And what we get is we get the combo of the Uzo Mikey-Angelo Barrage. And I freaking love seeing Mikey and Naruto teaming up. And again, we're getting a callback to like another classic Part 1 Naruto combo when they would use a lot of taijutsu in combat, and I like to see that. I mean, they could be using stuff like Shidori and stuff like that, or Rasengan or Rasengan, which I think will probably get in the finale of the next issue, no doubt about it. That's going to take down the Shredder. Seeing where this is taking place within the timeline, because Tsunade is the Hokage, so Naruto's probably like knowing how to use Rasengan in this situation. He just hasn't busted it out yet. But to see like the more of the taijutsu aspect of these fights being taking place with the TMNT characters is really freaking great. And I feel like it's the best way to handle it, by having that more hand-to-hand taijutsu physical combat. So with all the mutant fodder defeated, the Turtles and Team 7 tell the Shredder to give up because he's lost, but Shredder's like, I haven't lost yet, I'm going to drink this mutagen and I'm going to transform. So the Shredder drinks the mutagen and then he begins to transform into this amazing freaking design, his mutant form. Like, he goes into like Super Shredder on steroids, Super Shredder on steroids, but a demon. And his design is really interesting because it's like sort of like this skeleton, like his face is all melted off, you can see. But in the center of his body is this eye opens up, and it's almost like a Suzuki eye in a way. with what they had, but it's all green. So interesting attention to detail there. I don't know if that's what it's meant to be or not, but he's got a giant eye in his chest, which will probably let him see everything going on. I don't know, but Mutant Shredder's design looks really freaking cool, and that's where the issue ends up on that cliffhanger where the Shredder mutates into his main, like, big final boss form, which is kind of a shame. I kind of wish we got to see the Shredder in his normal form go toe-to-toe with Team 7 in the end, and sort of, like, see, like, Team 7 or someone go face-to-face with the Shredder, but right away Shredder's busting out the mutant form so they can wrap up the series within the next issue. So it is what it is. That's why I said I feel like the series should have been 5 issues or 6 issues, so they could have played around with the Shredder a little bit more in this issue instead of making him like the final boss in like a video game or a movie special or something. But it's what it is. Once again, like, this issue was a lot of fun. The series is fantastic to read. I recommend reading it when it comes out in trade within the next couple of months, because I feel like this issue is perfect for like a reading in one sitting. But overall, it's a lot of fun, and I am definitely enjoying it. It's one of my favorite crossovers we've had within this year that we're getting, and I can't wait to see where it's going to go next, how it's going to end, and will we get sequel baited? Probably, no doubt about it. So what did you think of this issue of TMNT and Naruto? Tell me in the comments section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions, and with that said, I will see you guys later. Peace out, take care, bye.